Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today on transitioning to Next Generation WaterAlert. My name is Nicole Felt, and I am a science communicator here in USGS Water Mission Area. My voice is a little rough right now, but thank you for your patience in listening to me. At USGS, we have a suite of products and services which provide publicly available water data for the nation, and we've been sharing this data on the internet for decades. But the systems to share this data have become outdated. So we're on a long-haul mission to modernize our systems, expanding discoverability, accessibility, and usability of our nation's water data. We're excited to modernize and provide all new, highly requested features to our systems, but we move forward with thanks for the existing and legacy systems because this wouldn't be possible without them. And thanks to the team that makes water data for the nation possible. We are a cross-functional team from the USGS Water Resources Mission Area and Water Science Centers. We are proud of this modernization effort because it increases the visibility and accessibility of all USGS water data for the nation. The National Water Information System, or NWIS-WEB, hosts our legacy web products that have been around for decades, delivering crucial water data to everyone. But we're gradually replacing our outdated web presence with modernized data delivery products hosted by Water Data for the Nation. So let's talk very briefly about our process of modernization so you can most effectively engage with us as we build these products for you. Our work is user-centered, transparent, and dynamic. We put our users, you, at the front of our process by developing agile products. Decades ago, USGS felt an emerging need for receiving instant information about monitoring locations, especially when scientists weren't on site. So USGS created WaterAlert. And WaterAlert has served critical information in a timely manner, improving functionality across our enterprise and beyond. By providing an important service to thousands of users daily, like this one user who says, I have a cabin about 300 miles from my home. I appreciate getting the alert so I know if the water level is rising. WaterAlert helps me protect my property and stay informed. But the legacy interface of WaterAlert has not kept up with advancing technology, preventing it from effectively serving all of our users' needs. It's outdated and it's not easy or intuitive for never-before users. Additionally, changing wireless industry standards that are intended to prevent spam are outside of our control and are currently preventing notifications from reaching users via text. This is a major disruption to our service, so we are proud to be updating this product to align with the web of today so our users no longer experience disruptions or difficulties such as these. So along with our long-haul mission to modernize our display of water data, we're modernizing WaterAlert, and we created Next Generation WaterAlert to fully replace Legacy WaterAlert. This is the same tried and true subscription service, but in a more mobile and user-friendly format with greater flexibility and all new features. Current users may wonder what will happen to their existing alerts during this product replacement. Please rest assured, your alerts will appear in Next Generation WaterAlert as long as you take 3 simple steps. Before you can take those 3 simple steps, though, you'll need to check your email. It contains a unique link to your personalized transition page. Then you'll be able to take 3 steps to transition your legacy alerts into NextGen WaterAlert. Users will log in, transfer alerts, check their new account, and that's it. We'll be notifying users multiple times via email and text, as well as sharing this information widely across all of our platforms. The transition is open from now until September 30th. When logging in, users will have 2 choices. If you are a public user, you will use login.gov, the public's one account for government services. It takes a few moments to create an account through login.gov and only 3 pieces of information: your email address, a secure password, and 1 or more authentication methods, such as a code sent via text. If you are an internal user, you will use your Active Directory credentials for a simple sign-in process. Users will then be able to select which alerts they want to transfer. We recommend transitioning all of your alerts if you are uncertain. You can always delete them once they're in the NextGen system. But you will not be able to return to step 2. So when in doubt, transfer all of your alerts during this process. After you transfer your alerts, your transition process will be complete. We recommend clicking My Alerts to verify that your alert subscriptions transferred successfully, and to give yourself an opportunity to orient to the interface of NextGen WaterAlert. Soon, we'll be releasing a step-by-step video tutorial for transitioning to NextGen WaterAlert. And we thought you might like a short video on how to use NextGen WaterAlert as well. So we have a video coming for both of those things. The video to walk users through how to use WaterAlert will go over creating an account and logging in, creating an alert, modifying an alert, deleting an alert, and finding our help resources and ways to contact us. If you are all new to WaterAlert, we are happy that you're here. NextGen WaterAlert can be used now. And WaterAlert will continue to improve over time as we update and release new features using our agile development process, which means our products continue evolving over time based on users' needs. If you would like to learn more about how we use the agile process, read this blog post or watch this video for the most recent updates on our other products. Links for both of these will be in the chat. An important part of our agile development process is usability testing, which we conduct as a part of our user-centered design. In usability testing, we ask you questions like, if you needed this piece of information, how would you go about getting it? Or if you couldn't find what you were looking for, what would you do to get what you needed? If you would like to test new features in WaterAlert or other products, email us and tell us a little bit about which products you use and how you use them, and we will add you to our usability testing roster. We use your feedback to improve our designs to make sure that they are working for you and our users. So the way that we can effectively give the best products is by interacting with you, our user. Send us an email at WDFN_usabilitytesting@usgs.gov. There are a few key takeaways from the short presentation that I've just given. Legacy users of WaterAlert can transition to Next Generation WaterAlert now using a special link. Legacy users will have until September 30th to complete this transition process. Next Generation WaterAlert is currently available for all users. And please email us at WDFN_usabilitytesting@usgs.gov to test our products. We have two panelists today joining us for our live Q&A. Matt Rhodes and Randy Butler are both product owners of WaterAlert, and we'll hear from them in just a moment. But first, I'd like to address a couple of questions that we anticipate from you, our users, and that we know our users have already been sending us as we begin this transition process together. A couple of those questions are on the screen, or a couple of those statements. No transition email, only a text message. The login link is not working. What do I do? Why do I need to get a login.gov account? And once I create one, how can I return to the transition screen after doing that? We want to hear from you. But before we dive into the live Q&A portion of today's webinar, please don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at USGS_water. And please check out our blog at waterdata.usgs.gov/blog. I'm emphasizing these things because these are the most effective ways that we can communicate with our users in real time so that you can give us information about how our products are working for you. With that said, I'm going to stop presenting for a moment so that we can review any questions that may have already come in and so that we can start taking questions from the audience. All right. I don't see any questions that have come in so far. We've had thousands of users so far successfully transition, and we also acknowledge that numerous users are experiencing difficulties right now with the link to log in. Users have emailed us. Thankfully, users have contacted us. They are experiencing difficulties, and we are responding to those emails promptly and offering as much assistance as we can. So what I can say, if there are no questions that do come in, what I can say right now to users is, if you do experience any difficulties with your transition process, please email us and be specific with what error you are seeing. So in regards to the link not working for some individuals, it's really helpful for us to be able to quickly and effectively solve that problem for you so that you can continue that transition if we know exactly what that link looks like. So if you do end up ultimately having that issue, which is outside of our control, there's a firewall problem blocking that link right now. If you do experience that issue, send us the exact link so that we can most effectively help you. All right, so we do have a question that's come in. Is there an app? Randy or Matt, would you like to take that one?
Sure, I can take that question. So WaterAlert is not an app. We have tried to stick with the URL as we had with the Legacy or in with all water data for the nation or in with web things. We try to consistently stay web-based. As we know, applications on phones or mobile devices or tablets can sometimes be particular to certain individuals, and not everyone has access to those things. With us leaving it as a URL, you are able to access it by your phone, you're able to access it by tablet, and you're also able to access it by desktop. So there is no app, just put in the URL that was given, or we can put the URL in here and it should function just as it normally should.
Great, thanks, Randy. We did have another question that came in to display the email. I don't have the capability to share an email with you on screen right now because that email is unique to each user. So the email itself looks the same, but the link within that email is unique. So I encourage that user that submitted that question to please email us at WDFN at USGS.gov so that we can better assist you in trying to understand if you haven't received that email. Is that why you're asking us that? Just let us know. So we are happy to hang out on this call for quite a bit longer, as long as we need to try and answer any questions. There are no other questions that have come in though, and so I just want to make sure that any user that is experiencing difficulties does feel capable of contacting us and knowing that we will ultimately help you. And we are working right now on solving the issue that has arisen with regard to the link for login. Randy or Matt, is there anything else that either of you would be interested in saying about that to reassure users that we are diligently working to solve that problem right now so that this process can be the succinct and simple three-step process that we have told users it would be?
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me? Great. So this is just for the wider community that's still in the room. If you folks are having any issues transitioning, we understand the frustration and difficulty that can come from that. Believe us, we're frustrated too. But if you come across any issues, just please send us some feedback through WDFN at USGS.gov. But in that feedback, please provide the exact link that you're hitting and that's not working. Please copy paste that in to the email body, and if possible, provide a screenshot of what you're seeing so you can help us recreate these issues locally and we can get them sorted out for you. As Nicole and Randy stated, we have a transition period that we just began, and we're sending out the first wave of transition notices, these call to actions to all of you users, whether you're email, text, or both. As this transition period sends or continues, we're going to send another wave of announcements out to you. In the meantime, we're hopefully going to have these misplaced links resolved and tidy up all of their issues going on in the back end. We really appreciate your patience and maybe a little bit of grace. The Legacy WaterAlert system, as we noted in the beginning of this presentation, was really on its last legs. In fact, it was literally falling apart. So we had to accelerate in some other places to get the modernized system released out to the public as soon as possible. We're feeling some pain points, as you can tell, but again, we just appreciate your patience. If you end up being frustrated with this whole transition process and you just want to get some alerts, you can create an account, ignore the transition process, and set up alerts. Just a whole fresh set with a clean slate. You can do that. You do have that option. We'd recommend just navigating to Modernized WaterAlert through the National Water Dashboard or the monitoring location pages, finding a gauge, finding a parameter you're interested in, and hitting subscribe to alerts, and you'll be brought to the modernized application, and you can get set up and get going. If you want to add any other gauges to your set of alerts for everything that you're interested in, you need to make sure you go back to the National Water Dashboard or the monitoring location pages, select a new gauge, and hit the subscribe to a link for the parameter you're interested in. Okay, you can't navigate to other stream gauges from inside of the application. And I'm seeing some other questions come in about the text alerts functioning. Yes, the text alerts in the modernized app are functioning. We're using short code SMS, so it's a 5-digit text that we're using to transmit these alerts now. And one of the big issues with the legacy system is we used a different type of number that by and large is being rejected by the wider cell carrier network in the United States. So that's one of the reasons that we are no longer able to guarantee service of the legacy system, and that really forced our hand to get this modernized application released sooner than later. So that's why we accelerate the development. But just to reiterate, text alerts are now functioning as intended. So if you're a legacy user and you're no longer getting your text alerts, the way to get them resumed is to come over to the modernized application, either through the transition or just making a new account. And then we have a question from Jeremy White. It looks like Nicole's handling a response. Do you want me to take that or just finish your typing, Nicole?
Yeah, you can definitely speak to that for sure. I was just going to respond and say that sounds like it's an internal person, and they are more than welcome to forward that email that we sent just the other day to any cooperator that is separate from the official transition email. But you can definitely add anything to that, Matt, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. I'm not sure about the demographic of the remaining folks in the room. We have a little over 100. But just to reiterate, if you're having issues kicking off your transition, when you respond to WDFN feedback, please give us a copy of the URL or the link or the button, whatever you're clicking to get into the system. We'll give you a URL in your web browser. Please either give us a screenshot of that URL, or if you can, copy paste that URL into the body of the email, just so we can see exactly what's going on, because every single legacy user, their transition URLs are all unique to that user. So we need that information to help us trace these issues with the system. So.
And I wanted to make a comment too. And I'll turn on my camera briefly. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to let you all know that we are, as Matt and Nicole stated, we are, working through our email address to respond to every person that we can as quickly as possible. Again, we have over 100,000 plus users of WaterAlert. So we're a physical person on the other end of that email address responding back to you. Please be patient with us, as it does take some time to filter through the emails and answer them based on their specific needs and their specific requests. What I do want to let you all know is that with that, being patient with us, please understand that WaterAlert is also, although used for emergency services, we do not advertise it as such because we are not able to work around 24 hours to consistently provide support and feedback. So our service, or the time frame you'll get a response for us, are during business hours on Mondays through Fridays, and that excludes holidays. We do not work as federal government on holidays and weekends. So if there is an emergency that you have, I please and heavily implore you to really reach out to your local weather station service, emergency services, and so on and so forth, because we will not be able to answer any questions or change anything until we're able to get back into the office the next day. However, with that being said, setting up your alerts through this new system, I know it can be a pain to go through login.gov, but it does give you the ability to really make sure that you set things up right without having to communicate directly to us and us going in individually looking at your account and trying to figure out what's wrong. So please be patient with us. We're trying to make as quickly as our responses as quickly as possible back to you, and also answer any questions or problems and fix any errors that have been arising during this time.
Great, thank you, Randy and Matt, for addressing all of that. So we have continued to get like a few questions in at a time. So I am happy to sit here and continue to monitor that for the next few minutes. If there are no further questions, we can end the webinar. And thank you for all the feedback that we're getting actively in the chat right now. We really appreciate that. Thank you. So I'll hang out here for another minute or two, and if anything does come to mind after this webinar, definitely we are available at any time within business hours at WDFN@USGS.gov to answer questions.
Yes, please reach out. We'd love to hear from you, and we're more than happy to help you out. So.
Yep, and we want to know how the transition process is going for you. We know that, like we've acknowledged, it hasn't been as easy as we had hoped for some users because of these errors. These things are out of our control, but we are working to solve them, and the transition process has been really smooth and easy for thousands of our users so far. So we're pretty excited about that. We're really excited about this new product. We hope you like it. We want to hear from you about it. We want to see what you're able to do in terms of the ease with which you're going to be able to create, modify, and delete alerts now. And just how you appreciate the interface. So, and if there's anything else that we could be doing differently in terms of communicating with you, we want to hear from you about that as well. Well, there are no more questions that have come in, and so I'm going to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you for attending. If there are any questions that come up after this, please email us at WDFN@USGS.gov. And we hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.